Now in this lesson we will see how to perform add operation. So we'll again go back to Visual Studio. Now there is this class is growing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse this code into multiple regions so that it will be easy for me to see which section of the class is doing what operation. So here I will first define a region here. Say I notify property changed this again I'm going to put it in a region. This is not going to add any functionality to my application. This is only to manage the code within my classes so that I can identify which code is doing what operation and I can just have it grouped logically. So region, say display operation, end region actually, end region. So this is done. Okay, next. Now here once again when the user is running my application, he is going to see a set of text boxes and he might be writing ID, name and age. Once he write these values, I need to retrieve the values from these things, that is ID, name and age text box, and then on clicking this button called as add, I have to call my service and save it. In order to perform that operation, first of all I need the values from the text boxes into my employee object. Again, we can do that with the help of data binding in WPF. We are already binding our window with the view model. So inside the view model, we will create one property of type employee and then we will data bind it with our text boxes so that whatever user is writing in the text boxes directly goes to that property. So here we'll specify a property. So property employee, say current employee, small I'll take current employee and current employee with a capital C. Now whenever the value for this current employee changes, again I want the notifications. So here also I will call on property change, my property change method, that is this one. I'm calling this one. So we'll say on property changed, the name of the property that is changing, say current employee. Then in the constructor we will instantiate it. We will say current employee. I observe over here I am not using the variable called as current employee. I am using the property because if I use the variable it will not send any notification. If I am making changes to this variable there won't be any notification. If I am making changes to this property, the setter will be called and the notification will be generated. So I am going to take help of the property to instantiate it. So I'll say current employee equals to new employee. So we have done the instantiation. Now we need to do data binding with the text boxes and the properties which are present inside our employee class. So we will go to our view, then we go to our text boxes and we will do the data binding. So we'll say text equals to binding path equals to the property. If you see here, we don't have directly a property inside our view model. There is no property called as ID, there is no property called as name, there is no property called as age. Those properties are present inside this employee class. So we have a property called as current employee. We can access the name and all the values using that current employee. If I come back here and say current employee dot. See, I am getting access to all the properties which are present in employee class. So using this current employee property, we will access ID, name and age. So we will say current employee dot ID. Similarly, for the next text box, we will set the text to once again binding path equals to current employee dot name, as well as for the last one we'll say binding, not binding, text equals to binding path equals current employee dot age. So let's run and we'll see how it is looking now. See here, it is automatically displaying 0 for my ID and name because the default values for integers is 0. It is showing me the value 0 over there. Now what I need to do is, on clicking this button called as add, I need to take that current employee and pass it on to my service so that my service saves it in the collection, and after saving it in the collection, once again we need to display it inside this data grid. And before doing anything, I'm going to increase the height of this window. So I'll just go back to main window.xaml, and the height is actually very small. I'll just make it 500. Let's see. Okay, this height is fine. Now in order to do data binding with the buttons, that is whenever a button is clicked, I want to execute some methods. At that time we have to take help of iCommand interface. iCommand interface provides us with an event and a set of methods that we can utilize in order to invoke the behaviors which are present inside our view models. So we will go to this commands folder and we will add a new class that implements iCommand interface. So I'll just right click and say add class. Give it a name, say relay command. We'll make it public, and we need to make it inherit from iCommand interface, which is present inside the namespace system.windows.input. So we will also include the namespace system.windows.input. Now this names interface contains a set of method. It contains two methods and an event. We need to provide the implementation for it. So we'll just implement it. So there is this event called as can execute changed. This event needs to be executed, as well as there are two methods here, can execute and execute. Fine. So what we will do is whenever you bind your buttons with an object of this class called as command, in order to make sure whether your button is enabled or not, this method is executed called as can execute. If the method is returning true, then the user will be able to interact with that control. If the method is returning false, then the control or the button with which you are binding your relay command, that particular control will become disabled. So what I'm going to do is, from here I will simply say return true all the time, and when it is returning true, button will be enabled and user will be able to click the button, and whenever the user is clicking the button, at that time this method will execute called as execute, and inside this method whatever code is present, that code will be executed. So over here what we will do is we will create a constructor inside this class. That constructor will take an delegate which will hold the reference of a method which is present inside the view model, because our behavior will be present inside the view model and this class is supposed to execute that behavior. In order to connect both of them, we will take help of a delegate. So here we will create a delegate, private action, say do work. This is my delegate, and in the constructor we will instantiate it. We'll say constructor, and here again a delegate object we will accept as parameter, say do work equals to work. And over here inside execute, we will actually execute this particular method which is pointed by our delegate. So we'll say do work. So whenever can execute is executed, it is going to return true. That will make our control enabled, and when user clicks the control, when the user clicks our button, at that time execute method will fire, which will call the delegate, and the delegate will store the reference of the method which is passed by user. So now our command is ready. So what we will do is we will create an object of this command again inside our view model, and that command we will bind it with our button. So we'll go back to our view model now. We will create an object of the command. Actually we will create a property here. So we'll give it a name, say relay command. Now we are not getting it because we need to add one namespace here. If you see here, it's also created in a separate folder called as commands. So we'll say using mvvm demo.commands. Once we add the namespace, then we can create an object. We'll say full relay command. I'll give it a name, say save command. Save command. I don't need any setter for it, so I'll just remove the setter, because it's not going to be a two-way data binding for the commands. It's only going to be a one-way data binding. So we'll just simply have a getter. Then now we need, when it comes to this particular command object, right now this save command, it's null. We also need to create an instance. In order to create it instance, we need to pass a method that matches the action delegate signature. Action delegate in .NET is a predefined delegate which can store the reference of any method that does not takes any parameter and does not returns any value. That is, it can store the reference of a method whose return type is void and no parameters. So here we will create a method with that signature, and inside the method we will have the code to call our service which will actually save the data. So we'll say public void say save, and we will put a try and catch also. In case of any exceptions, we will handle the exceptions here. Now inside try block, we will call our service by passing the current employee. So we will say var is saved equals to obj service dot add current employee. Whatever object is present inside current employee, that we will add. Now this method, after saving an employee, it should again reload my list of employees. So again I will call load data method, which is actually loading all the employees list. As well as whenever an employee is saved, I may also want to display a message to my user. So over here we can have one more property called as message. So we'll create a string property here, string say message, And whenever this property is changing, again we want a notification. We will bind this message property with our text block that we have for displaying messages. So we'll have a notification for this property, and we will simply assign the value to this property based on the value of is saved. We'll say is saved. If is saved is returning true, then we will say message property equals to employee saved. Else message equals to not this one. We will access the property because this gives the notification when the setter is called. So we'll say message save operation failed. In case of any exceptions, once again we will display the exception in the message. We'll say message equals to ex dot message. Now this method we can pass it to the constructor of our relay command here, because it accepts an action delegate, and if you go to action delegate you can see the signature over here. It can store reference of any method which is returning void, whose return type is void, and that does not have any parameter. So now I have a method of that signature called as save. I can pass it now. So we will go up here in the constructor. We'll say save command equals to new relay command, and we will pass the name of the method which needs to be executed. Say save. So we have created the command, and in the class also we have created the object of the command, as well as we have created a method which can be passed as a parameter to the command. Now we need to do the data binding with this command and the button which is present. So we will go back to our view again. We will select the button and we'll do command binding. We'll say command equals to binding path equals to the name of the command property that we have created. So the name was save command. I'll copy it and I'll paste it here. Just like that, we also have one text block that was supposed to display the messages. So we will also do data binding for this. We'll say text binding path equals to the property which is going to display the messages. So here the property name is message. We'll just do the data binding here. Let's run. So we'll try to add a record here 102 and say Jojo is the value. We'll give an age, say 21, and we'll say add. It says employee saved. It's not loading my list of employees. Let me see why. What did we do in save? We are calling load data. Okay, let's have a look at load data. Oh, I think I did not give the data binding mode for my data grid. Yes, I think so. I did not give the data binding mode. Yes. Mode equals to two-way. As well as for these text boxes also, I did not give the data binding mode. Let's just specify the mode, because we want two-way binding. Mode equals to two-way. Sam 30 adding but not giving a notification. Why? Let me click add again. I'll just check whether it is adding it in the collection or not. So we'll go back to our view model. Hello. And the problem seems to be because I'm not using observable collections. I should be using an observable collection for this employees list here. So what I'll do is I'll first add the namespace here using system dot collections dot object model, and we'll replace this with observable collection. This also will change it with observable collection. And in our load data method also we will use an observable collection. We'll say new observable collection, and we'll pass in the data which is coming from getAll method. And this should fix our issue that we are facing currently. So let's add 102 Jojo and say 40. Now it's working. Since we were using a normal list, it was not updating my UI. Now I'm using an observable collection which is having built-in capability of providing change notification whenever something changes inside that collection. So this is giving me a notification and it's showing me the new data, as well as I'm able to see my messages here, and the data and my add method is working properly. So in this video we have seen how to implement add functionality. In next video we will see how to implement search functionality.